Welcome to ATB TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti on Thursday afternoon. Pete, we've had a few runners but no winners for the week.
No, we had some, what would you call it, indecisive runs. We had some nice runs, but it was a mixture of 4th, 5th, sort of 6th and 7th. So we'll go back to an Irishman where there was a bit of rejigging of the way we rode him. I didn't mind the way he settled. Oh, he finished 5th and he run probably petered out. He was probably never going to win from where he was. But I think there was positives out of the run.
Yeah, look, this is a horse that's been a fierce going leading type who, once they get up to their grade, it's hard for them to do that and win. So we've taken the decision to try and teach him how to settle and see if we can get him to finish off. So he's not a sit and duck at the 200 all the time. Now that's not something you can do overnight. It takes quite a bit of work, and it may take 2 or 3 runs to figure it out. But I thought the other night, look, it was just a little bit unlucky. I thought he jumped and he settled, but they jammed the brakes on him. They can do that at Pakenham because it's a big track. They jump, get their spots, put the brakes on, and then they all know they've got 400 down the straight to run on. So it probably wasn't the ideal track for that strategy. We probably needed a track where they jump and they ran along a bit so he could settle and then hit the line over the top. But look, he did pull a little bit when they jammed the brakes on. He peeled him out and he made okay ground to the line. Yeah. But I could see signs that he was on the improve. Now, I think they just toying with the idea whether to give him another run or put him out. Yeah. We haven't had a report yet, but look, I haven't lost faith in the horse. I support the strategy of trying to get him to settle a bit. I think he'll win more races in the long run if we do this. And it may be that when he comes back next time in, all his work is geared around settling and finishing off, and I think that gives him the best chance to win the most amount of money in his career.
Yeah, I think that's key. You can balance it right from the start of his prep. We've spent 3/4 of a tank of petrol this prep, and then we're trying to rejig some. So, but yeah, no, look, we know he's a nice horse. So if they can get that right, we'll the horse and the owners will benefit for sure. Friday, you went to Warrnambool. We had Black Mirror off the back of a good second where she was able to loop the field, no interference. She ran into bums. Basically, they can be great rides, those rides, because you're saving energy and saving all the ground, but unfortunately it was a bit stop-start. She got reefing and tearing, and then the race was over when she got out, and she only beat 2.5 lengths behind some nice horses. She's finished 4th. She's had that run, she'll be better for it, but it's just a bit catchy because she obviously is a bit of a fiery-headed sort of horse. She needs the race to be run along at a good tempo all the way, otherwise she can get pulling. But
yeah, probably the barrier was the issue, and probably the winner was just too good. Yeah. Obviously, she started pretty much close to equal favourite with the winner. A yearling that they paid $525,000 for. The second also half to be good to your mother. So I think it'll work out to be a very good form race. She's run 4th, but she drew an inside gate and she was trapped there, and there was no way known anyone was going to let Dean Yendall out. So he was dictated to. He was forced to stay there. I didn't see anywhere where he could have got out, and then by the time he got clear air, the race was over. So, and
he did look after it late too.
He sat down on when he knew he couldn't win, but she wasn't beaten that far. The run will help her with mentally. I think we all went there thinking we'd win after the first run, but it was a completely different setup there. We needed to draw 7 or 8, and if we had been stuck in behind Archie's horse, the eventual winner, I think we would have come down the centre of the track with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we might have run a place, and we'd all walk away going, okay, we'll beat them by a better horse on the day. So, look, I haven't lost any faith in her. So things are going really well at the moment. A lot of them do win with blinkers, but she's not ready for blinkers yet. So probably another run somewhere over 1400, somewhere where the pace is on, somewhere, if she drew 1, you'd nearly scratch her. You'd nearly wait till you got barriers 6 or 7 or 8, and you'd nearly do that. So we'll find the right race for it. But look, our goal there is to win a race and then try and get a city win out of her, whether it's this prep or next prep before she goes to the breeding barn. But she can gallop, and Pat's doing a good job.
Yeah, and those first three, they weren't smashing away from us either. Their momentum was up, and we probably held ground the last 150. Friday, that night, we had another two of Pat's down at the Valley in the same race, unassailable, Madam Mischief. Madam Mischief drew one, the kid rode well. She's ran probably pretty well, beaten 2.5. It was a funny, I didn't go overly quick in the race, and she looked like she was in trouble on the corner, but she actually ran through the line well, I thought. Pat did mention about getting her out and drip, which if he'd suggested that 3 months ago, he would have said he needed a padded cell. So her run was good, unassailable, probably just the way it was run and where she was, probably awfully hard to win. And it was a reasonable grade 3-year-old. It's not obviously nowhere near the top level, but it was a well graded 3-year-old where you're probably the best horse with the best run wins it, you know.
Yeah, 1,000 metres at the Valley. It's interesting in Victoria when you've got a 3-year-old, and this happened to us in another race this week, where once you win your maiden, if you want to run against your own age group in a 64, you pretty much have to run in the city. They don't have 3-year-old 64s in the country, so if you want to go to a 64 in the country, you've got to take on the older horses. So there's a bit of a dilemma there, whether you stay with your own age group and go to the city, or whether you take on the older horses and go to the bush. Now, if you're not top line, probably doesn't matter which way you go, you're going to get beat. Yeah. Now, these two horses are not top line, but they've got wins in them. So we chose with these two to go to Moonee Valley and run in the 3-year-old 64 and take on those better horses. Now, Madam Mischief, I thought she was really good. She's come a long way, this girl, this prep. She was competitive, and probably the slow run race didn't really suit, probably being inside other horses didn't suit her. But I'll tell you one thing, she would have learned a lot out of that race, and she'll be an improved horse from it. Yeah. Going through her pedigree with Pat, there is a lot of horses that have won there over 14 and 1600, so he's going to step her out to 1400 and have a look at her and see what she can do. The other filly, I think you just put a line through Unassailable's run there. She just got caught wide, she got bumped on the corner. The jockey was asleep for 900 metres of the race. You know, he wasn't vigorous. Pat was very unhappy. But anyway, that happens. So look, just forget Unassailable went around. She's better than that. There's not much between those two horses. I think if you swap the runs, you swap the results with those two. So look, now we've got to decide. I think we're going to go to 14. We're probably going to have to go and take on the older horses, which, you know, unless we can find a Class 1 somewhere. So Pat will sort that out, but yeah, it's just funny how the programming works. And the Valley, you know, everyone knows, you know, who wins at the Valley? The leaders or the ones swooping? Yeah. The ones stuck back on the fence really rarely win, and the ones covering ground rarely win. So, but all in all, both horses have pulled up good, and I think they'll be competitive, but they're both definitely work in progress, and they're not stars.
I think Unassailable too, she loves to free roll a little bit. I think when she won, when she ran at Penshurst, and I know she missed the start at Warrnambool, she just was allowed to try and make up ground. I think she's definitely a horse that you can't hold up too much. So, but anyway, you know, there's wins in them. Just got to find the right races. Sunday, a Dandy Man had his second start. A lot of hype after the Geelong win. He was a 3-year-old, similar situation, going to an open benchmark 64. Now, Mitch had planned this because there's targets. If you take it in isolation, it's a really good run, but gee, he's still green, he's still raw. Yep. Probably in hindsight, you would ride him a bit colder and let him run on, but look, he's stuck to his task. He's only beaten 2.5 lengths. Behind a horse that's probably improved heaps of Matty Raymond's in the last couple of starts. So that form race for 64 older horses will probably stand up to be okay. It's, you know, towards midweight class, but he was good, I thought.
Yeah, no, he was good. Yeah, so here we go, a 3-year-old off against the older boys. Looking at him in the manning yard before the race, he looked fantastic, but when he walked around and you looked at his physique compared to the older horse's physique, it looked like an 18-year-old kid turning up to the
Draftee,
Looked like a boy playing grown-ups. So, look, he did look at a place in that field physically, but his run was full of merit. I think he actually hit the lead at one spot. And then the jock said he half waited for him, just didn't know how to let down and run away. And when he gave him a crack with the whip, he dived towards the rail.
He almost ran away from him.
He definitely ran away, and then he pulled the whip through and hit him on the other side, and then he got totally unbalanced. So the race was over by then because the three that beat him home come sweeping down the outside, which can happen a lot at Ballarat. But look,
horses had 10 or 12 starts.
So I think he got beat by race experience, not on ability. So I was happy enough with the run. As we sit here today on Thursday, Mitch is still mulling over whether we go to a top line 3-year-old group race or whether we take an easier route. So he'll make that call in the next 24 hours and we'll know where we're going. But he's a very, very nice horse.
I think he wants to go to that 1800, but he wants to make sure the horse is, right to do it.
Yeah, he's just got to show a bit of backbone and have a crack.
Just have a crack, throw the dice
Easy
against the wall.
And we just get on here the week after and say what a bad decision it was.
I think it's the trainer sorts knowing he's got a nice horse and he just wants to do the right thing. He's a smart operator. He'll come to the right conclusion.
Yesterday,
if you look at Right Your Name's career, he's 4 wins, 9 placings, or 8 placings from 21. It's a consistent resume for 180 odd thousand. Yesterday's run was just totally. We know we've seen a little bit of up and down in his form, but geez, missing the start. He's normally a horse that bounces, and the instructions were not to lead, but to sit 4th or 5th. God, we couldn't get within 20 lengths of him.
Well, that was clearly his worst run of his career. The theory is that he ran super last start behind Regards Marie, who's come out and won again. But that day the track was a 4, it was rain affected. And if you go back through his form, his best runs have been on rain affected, slightly rain affected ground. Maybe not heavy, but he definitely doesn't appear to let down on firm tracks. So I was really worried yesterday, I must admit. I would have preferred to be in race 1, when the track was a good 4, rather than race 8, when it was a good 3 or maybe a bit better, particularly on a hot day at 7:30 at night. So the track hadn't been watered for 12 to 14 hours, so it was drying out. And I don't know, can't explain why he missed the start. Jockey just said he never travelled a yard. Normally when you miss the start or you slow away in the straight, you run home and pass a few, but he just had no interest. So Archie's scratching his head, Liam Rawdon's scratching his head, and the owners are all gone to the fridge to get another drink. So we just got to wait to see what happens tomorrow when he pulls up, if he pulls up well or not, and then we've got to make a decision on this horse because his form's in and out, up and down, but he's run second behind. You were reeling them off before, Pete.
Regards
Marie's a pretty good horse.
Yep. Never again 3.5 lengths behind him.
Never again.
Second behind Titan Blinders, who was flying at the time. Like that's Saturday City class horses. So
if all the conditions are right on the day, he's probably should be no problem in a 0 to 84.
Yeah.
But
he should have a Sunday win against his day.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, if he needs it. Not too firm, not too wet. He needs speed on. He needs to get to the outside. There's a lot of things he needs.
The little boxes,
and it's like a 17-year-old daughter or son, isn't it? There's a lot of things they need, Pete.
Oh, too much.
You know all about
7-year-old daughters.
So very demanding to get it right.
Good point because the Caulfield race was race 2, and the one before was early. So that given you probably only get that perfect ground 1 in 6 meetings
in Victoria.
100%. And 1 in 6 we might have all the boxes ticked for most of it, but not get that ground.
So we need to.
The missing the start that's just
game over.
Spattering the whole works. We don't normally see that.
I wanted to see him run home past 3 or 4.
And
but it didn't happen.
No.
So disappointing. Crossroads ?
He might need to see the lure there. Like a dog.
Owners are going to have to. Listen to what Archie's got to say next week, and then we're going to have to decide how we go forward there.
So that's all they run. So like I said, there was a mixed bag of fourths and fifths. Some were good and some were sort of so-so. But I think overall, you know, there's wins in those horses we spoke about. Forward, Saturday or Thursday, so 2 days time, we've got a runner at Bendigo and we've got a runner at Flemington. Now we'll go to Flem, which is one of the new acquisitions, Never Again. Off the back of a race at Caulfield where he was just never going to be in the race the way it was run. Didn't like the shifting ground either.
No, he's a dry track horse.
He's going to get, well, I don't know what the forecast is.
Dry track.
Dry track, Flemington, gate 1, Walker stays on, 1400, but we come up against that Regards Maru. It's probably going to be even money.
They can't keep running.
Can't get winning, hopefully they can. But I think he goes back.
He's doing a great job with that horse.
Yeah.
Nick Ryan, good on him too. He's only got a small team, but it's interesting, isn't it? Like Flemington, it's always firm. So yeah, it's a couple of mil forecast. They'll put 10 mil, 12 mil of water on it, but at the end of the day, we'll get a good 3. The only thing we didn't want was an inside gate. So what happened? We drew 1.
The only thing is, I suppose you could box seat, but then you could be through back the fence.
He doesn't want a box seat. He wants to be back in the field, and he wants to be hook and wide, that horse. So probably 1's not ideal. But anyway, they'll have a plan. So it'll be interesting to see how Walker executes that plan with this horse. But yeah, like we're blaming the track last time for the horse just spinning its wheels. So you know, this is a horse that you know, he's got good ability. He's won a lot of money, and we've bought in recently. And yep, didn't work out first up, but hopefully it can work out second up. Reload
again, running around for about 130,000, so it'll be a nice result. Bendigo, obviously the 3 fillies that went to Paul Prushka's over the last 12 or 18 months, and we got one of them to the track, the Raise the Flag filly, Raise the Colours. 1300 metre maiden. Obviously we're in at Ararat, and I look to be thankful. I'm glad she drew 16, because even if you draw 3 or 4 there and you're running 5th on the home turn, you don't learn a lot because they don't run on. Bendigo's the perfect track for a horse that's going to get ground. First up, gate 2, hopefully gate 1 doesn't scratch. Paul's confident she can run well, but we can't get that how well out of him. How well's run well.
What does well mean? Have you got a dictionary?
Well, it's a hole in the ground where there's hopefully water in it.
Well, yeah. Anyway, you know what these trainers are like. That, you know, it'll run well. How's your horse? It's good.
We're talking about those.
I'm happy with the.
Yeah. It'll improve after the run.
Oh, well, naturally. Look, what is this? It's a 3-year-old filly.
Over
Raise the flag over
1300.
1300. I don't know. Everyone says raise the flags peak when they're 6 or 7. You just got to keep them sound and wait 4 years.
We're talking about 3-year-olds in benchmark 64. She's a 3-year-old and open maiden too. So I mean, she's up against it. I mean, there's not much form in the race. There's 3 or 4 that have got a bit of form.
All I can say.
I reckon top 5's a good result. There you go.
All I can say is he likes her.
Yeah.
He's happy with her. She'll be competitive. But what I'm saying is, she's going to probably the best track in Victoria for a first starter in Bendigo. It's a magnificent surface. There's plenty of room. There's no real bias. The jockey's in form. Paul's a good trainer. He's no mug. What do I think? If she can beat half the field home over 1300 first up, I think that would be a pass mark. And anything better than that, I think we'd walk away saying we might have a horse that can win good races in 2025.
I'll add, I reckon she's going to start under the odds because she's a first starter.
Please don't.
And then my point is, if
what
she was straight,
$6?
No, I'm thinking, honestly, I reckon she'll be $6 or $8 chance.
What do you think she'll start?
Oh, she should probably, like, I'll raise the flag, 1300. If the trainer was D Dance, it'd be a $25 chance. Like,
it'd be 1,000 to 1.
But like, honestly, with that breeding and all that, but Paul said that she's got a little bit, I'm passing this info on, a little bit more speed in a raise the flag at her age than he normally sees. So I think she'll race a lot handier than what we expect.
Should we buy the half sister before she runs?
Where's she to buy?
I don't know, somewhere.
We'll find her.
If the trainer gave me the heads up, we could sneak out and buy the half sister cheap.
What was the mother?
Win the race, and then have a valuable filly, but they can't give you the heads up. These ones.
Is that the chap down at
Yeah,
Mornington
your
that's
mate.
got it?
Your mate.
It's out of, what's the sire?
Was it Jacoby or something? I can't remember.
No, it was that good
It did
miler.
ring us.
That good miler.
He did ring us.
Let me loose or turn me loose.
Turn me loose, yeah. So he'll be watching closely.
What ring Paul and say, is it worth going to buy this half brother?
Well, you got the cash, not me.
Credit cash.
Anyway, we'll look forward to her kicking off.
I reckon she can top 5, and I don't know what happened, you know. Paul said out to a mile straight away after that, so there you go. I think you're working on a freshness. She did have a gallop, was that Monday? We've seen that vision?
Yeah.
So 6 days out.
Owners, I'll be screwing him down before Sunday.
We'll get the real mail out.
He'll be getting the phone call.
There's too many people watching this.
He'll be getting the phone call off me.
Sunday we roll into Church Day, Sunday Colac Cup Day, and another one of our English online purchases with Lindsay Smith is first up in the Colac Cup off the back of an 800 metre trial at Terang.
Well,
Does it different?
How long's it been in work?
Since
8
New
weeks?
Year's Day,
8 weeks? 6 weeks?
just before Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, it must have been. Anyway, we're going 2000 first up.
Did come off a fairly good prep.
Naval Warfare. Staying horse. We bought online.
3 days in May, the mother's call.
We bought this horse purely for the Terang Warrnambool Cup program, and because we had a lot of inquiries and we didn't have a cup horse in the team, so we didn't think we did at the time, but now it appears we might have model.
Yeah.
So Naval Warfare kicks off first up for Lindsay in the Colac Cup with Ethan Brown to ride, 2,000 metres.
Kids fly.
Doesn't look a strong race on paper, but they're all hard to win. I don't know how he's going to go. I've got no idea whether he's fit enough or not. I suppose we need to talk to Lindsay before the race, but which we'll do, owners. But anyway, I think it'll be just good to have the horse going around.
Yeah.
We went down and saw him trial well, and he did trial well, didn't he?
And
do you think he trialled as well as Sir Dragonite at Geelong before he went to that race?
possibly not that good, but he might go better than Sir Dragonite. I like
Trials.
He actually showed speed, didn't he?
Forget trials.
Yeah, you do.
They mean nothing.
But I mean, he wasn't like.
If trials meant something, he'd be a rich man because he goes to them all.
That's all I'd be doing. Would be filming him and betting on him. But that I liked. He had a bit of turn of foot in that trial. They rode 100. I wouldn't say they went real quick, but he was still up there. I'd be interested to see how they ride him in the race because you don't want to be back last at Colac.
Well, that was 800 and he was really competitive.
Yeah.
Like he wanted to go, so he's going to be competitive. I don't know where he's
He
going
would
to
have
be.
he would have trudged through a lot of sand since. And
Well, he's no mug, Lindsay. So.
well, Lindsay just said that trial will go Colac Cup. There was no, oh, well, what about another trial? It was like, that's it.
And we've got a sneaky down in the stable who's been giving us the mail, and the mail's pretty good for him. So they're expecting a top 4 finish.
Yeah, well, that doesn't pay if you're packing each way. Hopefully top 3. Look, just good to see him kick off. Obviously, like you said, we've got Terang and the
I think it's very late that race. It's like 5:50.
5 o'clock.
Nearly be dark.
Yeah, well, the edge would be off the track. But he's the top of the ground horse, so it doesn't matter. Actually, he's versatile.
He can go in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll have a good look at him.
Yep. Tuesday, speaking about Paul and those 3 fillies, another one's going to kick off. Danny Classic, the Dandino, top classic. 1200 metre maiden. Fields aren't out, but he's adamant that's where he wants to go to kick her off. Had a good impression of her right through the journey of about 4 preparations. You reckon she got a little bit of dash about her. So, big straight, 500 metres at Swan Hill. I can see her being ridden quietly and then find her feet and let her go and see what's in the tank the last 300. First
started by Dandino, obviously.
They do win first up.
Well, we've had one for one, but the other 4 that have run over them. But no, I'm looking forward to this filly. Paul's had a good opinion of it the whole way through. Obviously, we bred her. We've still got the mare. She's got a younger sister, 2-year-old as well. So a lot riding on this filly for us, not just for the mare and the owners, but also for the stallion himself. Another winner by Dandino would see him starting to get a bit of attention in the market. So. Look, she's a nice, big, strong girl. She has shown up well in the trials, but I'm very wary of these trials. Been burnt too many times, but looking forward to seeing her go around. 1200, yeah, maybe a bit short, I would have thought, but once again, Swan Hill's a perfect track.
I reckon it's like 1300 at
Perfect track. It's very testing.
Yeah.
And if he's got a fit and wound up, she'll be competitive. But once again, owners will be putting the acid test on him.
Put the screws in Tuesday morning, sorry. I don't know more. I'm not too sure about Wednesday at Sand and what. I don't think we've got anything going there. But Thursday, Street Baby, that 2,000 metre race that we've been talking about.
Been waiting for this.
And I thought a Black Mirror, as you mentioned, but I didn't see a 1,400, so it might be running, and that probably covers them all.
So Street Baby, been busting to see her over 2,000. Yeah. She was great at Geelong last time. She was great. Like she was wide, no cover. You know, the way she's raced, you would have thought at the 300 she was entitled to drop off, or even at the 200 drop off, but she stuck on a run fourth. And I think it surprised jockey and trainer.
Well,
and
trainer's surprised with her actual intestinal fortitude. Like looks light, she eats up, and he said she just cops the work. He said it's what you see and what you get are, you know, two totally different things. So hopefully the 2,000.
Can't wait to see her over 2,000. I'll be shattered if she runs no good, but sometimes that happens, you know. You wait to the end of the prep and you try and make a distance, and they're over the top and they go bang. I think that happened to us with Flying Hula one year, and then everyone's going, oh, she's not a stayer, and then she came out and ended up winning 2,500 metre races. So anyway, look, Daniel knows what he's doing.
She was really tough at the end of the Geelong run.
Yeah, so if she can do that again, she's going to be right in that. So looking forward to Thursday at Warrnambool to see what she can do.
Yep.
And that's all our runners for now that we know of. There might be a couple pop up. We haven't actually gone around all the grounds, Pete, to find out who's doing what.
I went through the sheet and I think I've nailed
most of them.
One might pop up.
If you're wondering, Hasseltoff, he's having a spell. So if you're wondering, I've had a couple of people asking me when he's in next, but he's back in the paddock having a break. He had 7 runs in, never missed a place. So
2 wins, 5 placings.
He'll have a month. He's halfway through his spell already, would you believe? All right, now a special birthday, Pete. 90 years young.
Good effort.
Shirley Baker.
Yeah, happy birthday, Shirl.
Shirley's 90, I think today. So no doubt the champagne is flowing at the Baker household, and they've been prone to a nice glass of champagne.
What have the Bakers got? They in Cup Sauce?
God, now you got me. I think they did have a runner there this week. We were talking about it earlier. I think, they're in Write Your Name, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, other tables a winner coming up.
Yeah.
It might be a bit late as a birthday present, but anyway, 90 years, Darren. I can only hope. Maybe not hope.
Well, I'm past halfway.
Well, I know my age, I know your age.
No, look, wishing all the best, Shirley. Great milestone for you to get to 90, and hope you have a great day. And I know you got something planned for Saturday, so I hope you really enjoy that. And we'll look forward to seeing you back at the races to celebrate your 90th as soon as we all get the jab and the okay to get back there. So
hopefully Dave's got the big spoils on the go.
I'm sure David, a man of his wealth, David Baker, he would have a lavish feast on offer with only the best. Almost a speech from the Queen or something. I think you can only have 15 to the party.
Righto.
And apparently I was number 16 and Liz was number 17. Just missed. And
$300 ahead to be
I think we're on the bench looking for a late scratching. Anyway, have a great day.
Good on you, Shirl.
Been great clients and great friends of ATB for a very long time. Righto, Pete. This week we're going to, off the back of last week's promotion, the jukebox. I want to thank everybody who bought into that filly. I think you've bought yourself a nice horse who's going to get up and running early.
Handful of shares left.
Not
even a handful.
I reckon that'll be done shortly.
Right, so if you're thinking, don't think too long beyond Saturday, you're saying.
I'll have it done, don't worry about that. Now the new horse that's going to get promoted tomorrow, Pete. Tell us about it.
The Toss and Stardom.
The Japanese sire.
If you can remember, under the care of Darren Weir, won the McKinnon over 2,000, won the Toorak over 1,600, so nice little bit of versatility there. Our mare Ralave, who's a half-sister to La Passe, who was a dual group winner, also Social Spins in that family, so there's a real nice little mix there. Lovely horse. I was seeing him down at the Breakers, and obviously when the promo goes out, in comparison to the others that are there, and there's no knock on the others, they're all just different, but he just had there's just a presence about him. Now we know Social Spin was a big horse, and La Passe was well put together for a mare. the genetics are all thrown and thrown into the brilliance of Toss and Start. And that McKinnon Stakes, when I think Matt Hill said he's dropped out of the sky, and he did. Like, he sprinted off,
Just took
off 200 metres. Like, you just hope all that brilliance throws through to this bloke. And
Well,
from a point of view of just looking at him, he's the body's there. We just got to put the engine in.
Yeah, no, he's got a big frame. He's a lovely colt and a great temperament. And we know how good the Japanese size and the Japanese horses. We've seen it come here in the spring and dominate. It's one of our favourite families out of that Pirouettes family. As you said, with Social Spin and La Passe. Just wonderful animals, and everything out of that family could run. So I think he's the last of that family. So you'll see the shares are pretty reasonably priced this time. So I think Mitch Freeman will be training him, and he's pretty excited about it, as you'll hear in the promo that comes out tomorrow.
He was excited for a couple of reasons, Darren. Getting another one of our homebreds, but Toss and Start, obviously, back in Weary's day.
Well, he would have been there.
They were close up and personal with those horses.
He'd know Toss and Start better than anyone.
Oh, brilliant. So he was that's his first. So he's happy to be getting one of those. So you're going to get someone that an intricate feel for the breed, and we'll give him every chance.
And as you know, those horses that we breed and syndicate, they keep winning. So we don't have to remind you about Hasseltoff and Serious Suspect and Long Espresso, Capriccio. They just keep winning. So and they have longevity. So that's what we want.
And cheaper than the jukebox too. I mean, not that we're saying like jukebox was $5. You're knocking a quarter of that price off.
Yeah, well, the service fee wasn't that high. So being these first years, so have a good look at that horse if you want a good, fun horse that should be competitive in the city. And Super Vobis, which is a big plus, have a good look at this one.
And unknown, but the type that you thinking they're not going to take a long time to, I mean, I know it's unknown, but there's a lot of brilliance in both sides of the family.
He's already at the breakers, so have a look. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. That's a closure for this week at ATB TV. Have a great weekend. Lightning Stakes, we'll be having a good look there for a number of reasons. Nature Strip's in there with Jamie Carr. Now, if Jamie Carr wins on Nature Strip, we won't get it back on Serious Suspect for the new market. So we'll be pulling his tail pretty hard.
We want Pippi to be taking him on, and who else? There's a bit of.
And the other one we want to be going really well is the WA Raider, a Lead Street.
Yes.
Because we own the full sister, and the Lead Street's already a Group 1 winner. First time down in Flemington Straight, it's going to be pretty hard, but $9 chance. But we'll be cheering for a Lead Street, given the fact that ourselves and a few of you own the full sister, 64th Street. So
he could be the one out of the box, Darren.
Could be a sneaky over the top. And Daniel Morton's pretty handy. Like, he had Scenic last years ago that came over here and blew us all away.
He came here and just kept winning.
What did he say? I didn't come here for a bag of lollies.
Well, the feat when he won the Winterbottom was from a benchmark 78 to a Group 1.
He wouldn't have come all the way across the country for a week off.
No, not during COVID.
So we'll be cheering for those horses, so it'll be really interesting to see what unfolds there.
Yep.
So anyway, have a great weekend. Good luck with your punting, good luck with your horses, and until next week, I'm Darren Dance with Peter Morganti.
I'll get the navy blue on again next week.